Okay, hello everyone. Today we are sitting here in virtual reality. I am in the Cessna 150 Commuter by vFlyteAir. We have a 73 nautical mile flight from Whiskey Alpha 79, Walter Sutton's private strip, to Oscar Lima Mike Olympia. We'll be flying over Orbx True Earth scenery along the way and enjoying all that VR goodness. Before we get started though, let's take a look at those two awesome airports. Let's get started. We've already got the fuel selector on. I can just reach the primer. I've got the battery on. Get the beacon on. See, it can be really hard sometimes to get these switches. Get the mixture to full rich. That looks good. We'll crack the throttle. Okay, that looks good. Avionics are off. Let's open up the window here. Worked pretty well. Get our magnetos to both. All right, look around, clear prop, and ignition. So if you watch my last video, it's hard to reach some of the controls inside of your airplane because there's real life stuff in the way. So I'm sitting at my desk and my flight controls are here, so it's hard to reach around them. I've got my computer, my monitor, so I'm always bashing my hands into stuff. Now I can reach the avionics. So that works well, and I can get the a little touchy transponder to standby. Yeah. Walter Sutton's traffic, November 359 Golf Charlie, taxi, runway 26, Walter Sutton. We'll leave the window open for taxi. Get some deer. Walter Sutton's traffic, November 359 Golf Charlie, departing runway 26, straight out departure, climbing 4,500, Walter Sutton's. Airspeed's alive, 55. Looks good. Flaps up. We've got the Olympia Radial on 113.4, and I connected the DME to it. I've been talking about how big things look, and you really appreciate it when you're flying over scenery. Because the river looks river-sized. It's huge. It's great. I don't know how many times I've done this, so I just wanted to lean out the window there, and I leaned over and tried to put my hand on this seat, which is air in real life. There's no second seat next to me. All right, well, that was a lot of fun. That was my first full flight in X-Plane in VR. I've tinkered around a lot around airports and hopping in different aircraft, but this was the first takeoff at an airport and land at another airport flight that I've done. So it was awesome. It was everything I expected it would be. I did have a couple glitches. I don't know if it's this aircraft or what went on, but about halfway through, my VR controllers stopped interacting with a couple of the knobs in the cockpit. So first my nav1 radio just locked up and stopped reading anything on the OBS and the DME, which wasn't a big deal because I was flying VFR for this and following I-5 pretty much the entire way. But, you know, it would have been nice to know how far I was from the airport with the DME. So I gave up on the nav1 radio and set up the nav2 radio, which worked fine to do that. Plus, I struggled a little reaching some of the knobs and stuff. I think I discovered that my transponder was not set to 1200, but was 1207 for some reason. And it's a little hard to see in VR some of the fine details without turning super sampling up, which I don't have turned up right now. So discovered that about halfway, squawking 1207 and changed it to 1200. But other than that, everything went fine. It was a okay landing, not great, but I'm still trying to learn VR. The 3D aspect you would think would help you with landing, and it does in some ways, but I'm sort of calibrated to the angle and the height to come in based on how it looks in 2D. And now that I'm relearning it in 3D, I sort of have to go and go through a lot of bad landings to get to a good one. But as always, thanks a lot for flying along with me, and stay tuned for further flight adventures.